King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and with keen interest and follow-up from His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz, the Crown Prince and the Prime Minister. The 9th Conference of Ministers of Endowments and Islamic Affairs in the countries of the Muslim world was conducted in Mecca al-Mukarramah in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia during the period from the 29th of Muharram to the 1st of Safar 1446 after Hijrah, corresponding to 4th and the 5th of August 2024, under the title The Role of the Ministries of Endowments and Islamic Affairs in Promoting the Principles of Moderation and Establishing the Values of Tolerance. In recognition of the importance of this topic and the need for it, and in confirmation of the sincere desire to continue the cooperation, consultation and coordination between the ministries and the muftis and the heads of Islamic councils responsible for Islamic affairs and endowments in the Muslim world. The conference commends the efforts of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and his Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, in promoting moderation and serving Islam and Muslims and the entire humanity. The conference also appreciates the efforts of the member states in coordinating, cooperating and exchanging the expertise between the Ministries of Endowments and Islamic Affairs, the Fatwa houses and the Islamic councils, looking forward to more giving in the service of the Islamic affairs. The conference participants, as they hold their 9th conference in Mecca al-Mukarramah, the Qibla of all Muslims, the vicinity of the Grand Mosque, and this mosque is connected to Al-Aqsa Mosque, as Allah says, glory to him who took his servant by night from Al-Masjid al-Haram to Al-Masjid al-Aqsa, whose surroundings we have blessed to show him our signs. The participants emphasize on the firm position on the just Palestinian cause, and that the Palestinian people should be given their legitimate rights and to be protected from the brutal attacks and the genocide that is committed against them, and to stop the aggression against Gaza and its people. And they affirm the right of the Palestinian people to establish the independent Palestinian state on the borders of 1967 with Al-Quds al-Sharqiyya as its capital, and the restoration of all the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people to achieve the just and lasting peace. The conference calls on the international community, all international organizations to support the Palestinian people and to stand with them in their ordeal to end their suffering. The conference urges the preservation of the unity of the Muslim world because this is the greatest principle of Islam, in accordance with the verses from the Quran, and hold fast to the robe of Allah altogether, and do not be divided, and remember the favor of Allah upon you when you were enemies and divided, and you have become brothers. The participants warn against everything that leads to division and the rebellion against the Muslim community and its imams, which leads to the bloodshed, the violation of the properties and the transgression of the sanctities. And the conference emphasizes on the importance of protecting the moral and family values in the societies, and its rejection of any attempts to impose alien social concepts or any other forms of families or any alternative sexual relationships outside the framework of marriage that contradict with the sound nature. The conference also stresses on the need to confront the hate speech against Islam and Muslims, the need to develop cultural programs and future visions to combat the distortion of the image of Islam and the incitement to violence on the basis of religion or race. In this context, the conference expresses its welcome to the adoption of the UN General Assembly of a resolution on measures to combat Islamophobia and the appointment of a United Nations Special Envoy to combat Islamophobia. In light of the above, the conference participants reached the following recommendations. Number one, strengthening the call for the moderate approach and to correct the religious discourse and to combat extremism, radicalism, and the waves of atheism, and the emphasis on the responsibility of the Ministries of Endowments and Islamic Affairs, the religious administrations, and fatwa houses in establishing this approach by qualifying and training imams and preachers, and to intensify the programs in this regard. And second, emphasizing on controlling the fatwas in accordance with the Islamic text in order to achieve the interests and to avert corruption and to keep pace with the developments and the calamities of the era, and to take into account the needs of the societies while being careful of deviant fatwas and fatwas that are issued by non-official entities. Third, to increase the coordination and cooperation and to exchange the visits and the expertise and experiences between member states in the field of the Islamic affairs, and to strengthen the relations with the bodies, institutions, and conferences around the globe. Fourth, to develop qualitative programs to promote the values of tolerance and coexistence, to provide prevention and to protect the societies from the impacts of sectarianism and violence on the basis of religion or race. And number five, to strengthen citizenship, the unity, and to reject division and differences to achieve stability in the Islamic societies. Sixth, to continue working on exchanging the experiences between member states in the construction and maintenance of mosques, and to improve the efficiency of those responsible for mosques to achieve the noble mission of the mosques. Seventh, to work to employ the media and the means of communication in the service and dissemination of the tolerant message of Islam and its civilization values. Eighth, cooperation between member states and exchange of experiences in the field of endowments and activating their role in achieving sustainable development and educating members of the society and its institutions about the importance of these endowments. The conference participants, as they conclude this conference, thanking God for blessing and facilitating this meeting and for the consultations conducted and the distinguished results. They also extend their thanks to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and the Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, for the kind care and the excellent reception and generous hospitality. And they also thank His Excellency the Chairman of the Executive Council of the Conference of the Ministers of Endowments and Islamic Affairs in the Islamic World, Chairman of the Conference, Sheikh Dr. Abdul Latif bin Abdul Aziz Al Sheikh, the Minister of Islamic Affairs, Da'wah and Guidance in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And they also thank members of the Executive Council for their efforts and their care to make the works of this conference successful. Peace be upon Prophet Muhammad, his family, his companions and followers. Praise to God. Your Excellency, the Executive Chairman of the Conference, Your Excellencies, Your Highnesses, in conclusion of this conference, we will have a group picture for the heads of delegations. And peace be upon you.